Oh.
That's a diff breaker right there. That doesn't help. Well, watch yourself.
Nice landing.
Watch yourself. Yeah.
I'm moving this way now.
He got in the shot, that's for sure.
Oh.
That's a diff breaker right there. That was it. I just did it. Hey, what's up guys? This is Chris and I'm back with more Everyday RC and my HPI Savage Flux converted to the XL. I hope you enjoyed that jumping footage at the beginning of this video. I showed exactly how I did break the front differential on this truck this time, which I've broken the differentials on this truck many times because of the center transmission issue with this vehicle. So I've gone through that a number of times with this vehicle, and at the time of this filming of this video, HPI has announced that they are going to be releasing the full-blown HPI Savage Flux XL ready to run. So before that, the only way you were able to obtain this XL package is if you converted it yourself. So now HPI is going to supply you with everything in a ready-to-run package. And I looked online, I did some research real quick. They're not giving too much information, but they did show a layout of the chassis. And it looks like everything is pretty much the same. I was hoping that they were going to change that center transmission, but they looks like they left it the same. And the only differences up here in the front, they did away with this old style radio box and they changed that up a little bit. But other than that, it looks like it's going to be the same layout. So everything that I'm going to show you in this video, all the upgrades here will definitely relate to the new XL. So if you're going to be looking to do any upgrading on the ready to run XL, this will definitely help you, and I definitely suggest doing some of these upgrades that I've done on here. So I finally just rebuilt this. That footage was shot back in October, so it's taken me a few months to acquire some of these upgrades and find the time to do it because I honestly hate the differential repair on the Savage. I've done it so many different times and it's a messy, and I just hate doing that. So I'm hoping that now with this Alza Racing Center differential conversion, I no longer will have any more issues with broken differentials on this truck. This truck has the similar problem that the Axial Yeti XL has, is it has a locked center transmission. So this is actually what I did away with in this truck. And this is the center transmission of this truck that used to be in there. And as you can see, it's got a locked center transmission. You cannot differentiate these. They spin the same way and it's locked. So basically what happens is when you land with some wheel speed, there's no give, there's no differential action here in the center, and you end up breaking whatever the weakest link is, and the weakest link is the bevel gear and the ring gear that drives the front and center differential. So if you land with any kind of wheel speed, good luck to you, because it's only a matter of time before you blow out one of your differentials. And I have run this since I got the truck, and I was a little bit hard-headed about it. I've had so many people tell me about the Alza Racing Center differential conversion, and I was like, yeah, I know, I got to get around to doing it. But you know what? After that last bash event, and I finally broke it for like the 5th or 6th or 7th or 10th time, who knows, I lost count by now, I said, you know what? I got to make the investment. And really what changed my mind or convinced me to do it was there was someone at that bash event that had their Savage with the Alza Racing Center diff, and this guy was going ballistic with it. He was jumping double, triple backflips, landing every which way you could possibly imagine, and he didn't break his diff. And that might look like it was some big jumping, but that was actually reserved for me. Usually I'm blowing like double backflips or single backflips with this, and I'm jumping pretty high, but I was a little reserved at that bash event because I knew it was only a matter of time before I blew out that diff. And there you have it. After a number of jumps, I mean, there were a number of jumps there, but it eventually went out. So with this Alza Racing Center differential, I should no longer have that issue. So we're going to take this and we're going to throw this right in the trash, and we're going to upgrade it with this beautiful Alza Racing Center diff conversion. Look at that, guys. Is that not beautiful? And basically what that does is it just eliminates that whole center transmission, and now you purchase the Vorza, the HPI Vorza center diff. I believe it's a 48 tooth center differential. So now basically what it is it has a center differential in it. And wow, it all came together really, really quick, and I can't believe the engineering that went into that mount, and it's just, it works amazing. They also supply you with a HD front drive shaft. So you do away with that stock HPI front drive shaft. They give you an HD front drive shaft. You still utilize your old long rear drive shaft, and you convert it over to the HPI Vorza center diff. And wow, guys, I really tested this out. Just tested out the electronics. I haven't driven it or bashed it yet, but everything meshes perfectly on it, and it's a great upgrade. If you're thinking about converting your Savage to the XL, even if you don't convert it to the XL, I believe you can put this in the regular Savage. I could be wrong. You might want to correct me on that, but if you have the XL, which it's more common to break the diffs, you need to get this Alza Racing Center differential conversion. It'll make your life so much easier. You know, for those of you that haven't seen this truck before, I'm going to put the wheels on it. I'm going to show you guys with the body on it and everything else. But for those of you that have not seen this truck before, I'll just give you a quick overview on it. This was purchased as a regular Savage Flux. Then I converted it to the XL. This is the TCS Crawlers twin vertical chassis plates here, and they're 5mm thick, as opposed to HPI, which will be released with the XL ready to run, will only have a 3mm chassis. So I suggest going with the 5mm TCS Crawlers, or you can go with Alza. Alza makes it, and I also believe that there's another company, FLM, makes chassis for this as well. But you're going to have to do your research to know what parts are going to work with one another. I bought this when I converted this when everybody started doing it, so at the time when I converted it, this was literally the only XL aftermarket chassis that you could get. This was the TCS Crawlers 5mm. Now you can get them in all different colors, and like I said, FLM makes it, TCS Crawlers makes it, and I believe Alza makes their chassis as well, which is excellent quality. But I'm going to stick with what I have right now, so I went with the TCS Crawlers 5mm chassis. Of course, I did RPM the whole thing out. It's got all RPM A-arms. I went with the Integy because I wanted to go with the silver-orange theme. I went with the Integy steering knuckles and aluminum uprights. And I also suggest you do this. You go with the Integy rear axle carriers, and what that does is it eliminates the rear turnbuckle, because that always pops off on you. So now the toe-in is set for you with the Integy rear axle carrier. And one of the new upgrades I just recently did was I did away with the extended HPI axles, and I converted it back to the standard axles, and I went with the Integy 17mm hub adapters. That have a 12mm offset, so you're getting the same length as you would if you had the extended HPI axles, but you have, in order to make these work, you have to put it back to the stock axles, but you're gaining that again with the 12mm offset. And these are an insane upgrade. I've been waiting for a very nice 17mm hub adapter, and my friend Keith over at Bulletproof RC, go check him out on YouTube. He just started out, and he's one of the guys that was really convincing me and encouraging me to get this Alza Racing diff. And after Keith kept continuously yelling at me saying, you got to get the Alza, you got to get the Alza, I finally went with it. And he also suggested these Integy 17mm hub adapters, which fit on there perfectly. And I'm super happy with the way this truck is sitting here right now. Now, of course, you're looking at the PITDAWG Hydro dipped radio box, which I got way back when I first got the Savage, and I love the look of it. And I know that if you go on Keith's channel, Bulletproof RC, he shows his Savage XL, and that is an insane machine that he's built. But he has the dual steering servo tray that Alza Racing supplies you as well. I believe it's Alza. I could be wrong. It might be FLM, but I'm sorry. I should have did my research a little bit better. But I would have to eliminate this battery box. And right now, it's a little bit hard for me to part with this battery box. I mean the radio box. And I really love this thing. So for right now, I'm just using the stock servo. I've used the stock servo forever, and it doesn't have that much power. I will be totally honest with you, and I'm probably going to be looking to upgrade that very soon, even if I just stick with the single servo setup. But you know, I really just hit the ramps. You guys know what I do. I just drive in a straight line, I hit those ramps, and I look to soak up those jumps. And there is one more upgrade I will be doing that my friend Keith was turning me on to, is you put on the low-C LST shocks. And RC Innovations has this shock mount kit that you can buy. And as a matter of fact, I ordered that, and that will be my final upgrade for this truck as of right now. I'm not going to say final because there's always something in the future, but I am going to be looking to upgrade the shocks. I have not had any problem with the stock shocks, amazingly. The only problems I have is, as part of maintenance, you do have to change your shock ends. That's all part of maintenance. But I have not really had a problem with these shocks, but I am looking to, you know, improve the look, improve the beefiness of this RC. And those LST shocks are aluminum bodied, they're beautiful looking, and once I install that aluminum brackets and the whole shock mount setup from RC Innovations, that should be amazing. I did do some work to the electronics here. When I reassembled it, I put my Castle connectors on here, 6.5mm Castles on here on my ESC, and this is all the stock setup. This is the Flux Blur, and you know, whatever they call it, the HPI Flux system, and that's the Blur ESC. And that's one other thing. The reason why I went with this TCS Crawlers chassis is they make a ESC relocation kit, because if you look at the new version of the XL and also the old version of the Flux, the ESC is usually on top of the motor. I do not like that setup, and neither did TCS Crawlers, because they thought of the relocation kit. So you get their relocation plate, you get the HPI motor brackets, they're aluminum, you can see it in there, and then you just basically remount the ESC in a lower location. And I use the Traxxas. This is commonly found on Traxxas vehicles like the E-Revo, T-Max. This is just the Traxxas ESC Hold down, and it works perfectly on there, because basically the Blur is just a rebranded Castle system. So that's a quick overview of this truck. I don't want to make it too long of a video, so I'm going to put everything together. I'm going to put the wheels on, the body on, I'm going to plug in the electronics, and I'm going to show you what this beast has to offer. Alright guys, this is it with the wheels and the body on. Looks pretty cool, right? I really like the look of these 17mm hub adapters. What a big difference on that. And yeah, this is it, man. I'm really happy with the finished product on this. One thing I did forget to mention is I am using a Alza Racing hardened 11-tooth pinion. This Alza Racing diff conversion, you can use anywhere from an 11-tooth to a 21-tooth, I believe. But to reduce the heat and to keep it, you know, kind of original as far as speed goes, you're going to want to go with the Alza Racing or any 11-tooth hardened pinion gear. And I am going to be running 6S in this truck, as I always do. And I'm running the MAXAMPS dual 3S, 11.1 volts, 6,000 milliamp, 100C batteries, which is always an awesome upgrade. You know, I always use MAXAMPS. They're a great battery, and I've run MAXAMPS in here from day one. I did have to modify the opening on the battery trays just a little bit so I could fit my castle connectors through there, but I just dremeled that out a little bit, and I didn't open them up too much because I don't want too much debris to go into there. But enough of me talking here. Gonna plug this in and show you everything working. So let's turn on our transmitter. You always want to turn on your transmitter first, safety first. Plug in 1, plug in 2, 22 volts of insane power. Now, I don't have a good enough stand for this. The twin vertical plate chassis is a little difficult to get a stand under, but I'll just show you everything turned on, everything works. Got our steering. You can see the stock steering servo is not the best, but you know, I'll rev it up a little bit for you guys so you can see what kind of power it's got. I'll rev it up a little bit for you guys here. Can't really rev this bad boy up, but front tires got a little wet, they're a little unbalanced. But that's it, guys. That's my HPI Savage Flux XL with the Alza Racing Center diff conversion and a bunch of other upgrades, making this probably one of my favorite monster trucks in my collection. It's definitely a must-have if you're a monster truck fan. Do these upgrades and you'll be so happy with your truck. I know from seeing other people and seeing their setups run out there, it definitely makes a huge difference. So thanks a lot for watching this video, guys. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to follow Everyday RC on Facebook and Instagram, and check out the Radio Control Network as always. And I hope you guys are all making it happen in your RC worlds. And for now, this is Chris, the Everyday RC Guy, saying thanks for watching.